here's the stuff that's happening this week. PUBG Corp has kind of made some rumblings about this in the past, but now they are formally filing suit against Epic Games.
Can't beat them. Sue 'em.
For infringement of intellectual property. Yeah. In South Korea, I should mention.
Yeah. Okay.
Not here.
I would have expected this sooner, but
yeah,
I mean,
it seems
maybe it is a situation where it's like,
strange
well, shit. Fuck, if we can't beat them.
Gosh, I had it in front of me. Where is it? Specifically, they cited, I know it was the UI and one other thing. Weapon designs, that was the other one. Weapon designs and user interface are the main things they are citing. Which I don't know how broadly you interpret user interface, but like behind the back of a flying vehicle over a map,
mini map in the corner.
Yeah, parachuting onto an island, like stuff like that, I guess, could fall under that in a court.
I mean,
I don't know.
You could try. I mean, you could sue for anything.
Yeah,
but
well, that might be the angle they're taking, at least.
I feel like this is as easy as Epic showing screenshots from a ton of games that came out before Battlegrounds, showing incredibly similar things. Like if it is like, hey, mini map here, this here, map screen here.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to even envision what this could be because it seems fucking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think when Fortnite Battle Royale came out, a lot of people, including us, saw it for the first time and went, huh, wow. That's really that, isn't it?
But the thing that made it...
I'm not saying they have a legal leg to stand on necessarily,
yeah.
but
the
like
thing that made it seemingly scandalous was like, okay, this is a partner of PUBG Corp, the license, the engine licensor, and also it was soon enough to feel savage.
Yes.
It was very soon after the launch and rise. It was a very quick turnaround of like, oh, now Fortnite is this, and it was also the idea that it was such a hard pivot from what Fortnite was and had been for years.
I think that's what made it the most opportunistic to me. Is that like actual original Fortnite was like what 2 months old or something when they did this?
Yeah,
if that. And kind of, it was okay, but it didn't really set the world on fire.
Yeah, it's like they fucking opened the Battle Royale spigot and dumped it all over the game and said, this is this now.
Right. Yeah, it's almost like they just never gave the real game a chance to breathe. It's like, felt...
Yeah, well, they are still
I know they are,
the other thing. But anyway, like that's why that felt so cold is because it felt like a knife in the back, opportunistic, ice cold moment of just like, man, video games are a business, motherfucker.
Like they almost shivved PUBG Corp and the original Save the World team simultaneously.
Yeah. Where are those Unreal Tournament updates? Yeah. So, but like, is any of that legally actionable? I guess we will find out. Yeah. But like, man, come on. Like, it does weapon designs and UI elements specifically. Like, are you going to tell me that Player Unknown's Battlegrounds has such a unique UI and weapon design that it is somehow something, and maybe law in South Korea is different than it is here, but here, I feel like there's a long established precedent of like this shit doesn't fly.
Yeah.
Like look at and I saw the tapes that were presented by Capcom, the Capcom Data East stuff, the Fighter's History, Street Fighter 2 stuff. Like Capcom's case were down. It was down to like, hey, there are health bars at the top. Hey, when gun lock, whatever the fuck the punk rocker dude is, when he does his flaming CD spin, like it was Capcom showing frame by frame, side by side shots of that and Guile's Sonic Boom and going, see? And the court went, no, get it, come on. No. And, Fighter History was pretty similar to a Street Fighter 2, and the design of the marquee, all this other stuff, there were elements of it that you're like, oh, they're trying to make one of those games, but Capcom took them to court and the response was like, yeah, you also, I want to say the Data East thing was like, hey, we made Karate Champ. We're Data East. We made Karate Champ. So fuck off. Like, and other things of that nature where you could kind of point to things that came out prior to Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
And just go like, hey, look, man.
Like if you want to get into an infinite regression back through game design history, and that's like everything stole from everything.
And that was at a time and with a genre that I think was a little newer and had a little bit less of a precedent in gaming at the time. You want to try to have a fucking tactical shooter lawsuit in 2018?
Right. No.
Like, what, at some point you're just going to go back to like, well, Arma came out, and oh, by the way, the guy that designed your game designed it for Arma first, and what are you even suing? Like it's really hard for me to envision a situation where this is
has a
threat,
positive outcome for PUBG.
I don't understand, and again, like, I don't know shit about South Korean law. I barely know shit about American law.
Word.
But knowing what I know from previous video game lawsuits and how that stuff has gone, this seems preposterous.
Kind of seems like a desperation move.
Yeah,
or it comes off that way. Not that
this and
not that PUBG is like flailing or
it's in a relative scale. Yes, they are still incredibly large. Are they not the game that Fortnite is? Are they not attracting attention the way they used to be?
Yeah, for sure.
Is Fortnite getting like 5 times, at least 5x the amount of attention that PUBG ever got at its height?
Yeah, you can break that down to numbers. I mean, this Polygon story I've got here has straight up like Twitch viewership numbers that show Fortnite several times bigger than PUBG.
Is Microsoft, a company that did a deal with PUBG to get the game on their console, is Microsoft holding Fortnite tournaments in their retail stores?
Right.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, they are.
Sure.
So yeah, like at some point, yes, the Battlegrounds folks need to figure out what they're going to do, I guess. But this is like, well, whatever. I don't know. Maybe there's something actionable here that I just am not aware of. But,
do you think they have a better angle locking down like their gameplay model, like the battle royale model?
That's the thing. I wonder
because they didn't invent it.
They didn't invent it, but if
I wonder if they actually are broadening stuff like user interface to include like mode format and stuff like that. Like who knows what?
Because if they're just bringing up UI and everything, that's I don't think that's a very strong case.
I don't think the UIs are that similar.
But again, like you said, that even that mode has existed before,
right?
So
and that can get extrapolated way far back to any kind of like last player standing mode that has existed for decades. Like there are things that you could point to and say like, hey, the player counts weren't this, but this is basically this.
So all it would take is them winning one case. If they were to say, hey, this is our gameplay model, and let's say a court agreed with it, any other case afterwards would have a much easier time of
once one judgment got made.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it might even open the door to other games to try to do similar things to other competitors or something. But I just don't.
You don't think they could lock it down?
I really don't.
Also, even if the court ruled in their favor in Korea, I don't know how that affects things here.
Sure, that's also true.
I do have to point out that even the experts are weighing in on the state of PUBG. One, Dr. Disrespect.
Fuck that guy.
I know, he sucks. But he does say the game is slowly dying.
Well then, thank you.
Until they change the player mechanics and optimization, it's never going to succeed at the Fortnite level ever.
That same fucking dude is out there going, put me in your game!
Yeah, I know.
Fuck him, man. That's stupid.
But he is kind of like the face of that game on Twitch,
Is he?
Yes.
I thought he switched to Fortnite.
Oh, did he?
I assume he did.
Oh, wait. Maybe.
I don't know.
Huh.
Don't know, and
not an avid viewer, I have to say.
These bros ain't loyal.
Oh, apparently he is going to be in PUBG.
They're putting him in.
Dr. Disrespect. PUBG skin confirmed after data leak.
That's sadder than the lawsuit.
Yeah, I don't necessarily see if he's fully switched over or whatever, but
yeah, it's really. I still prefer Battlegrounds to Fortnite.
Yeah, totally.
But at the end of the day, like I think I would have rather have seen them try to do more to the game. And whatever, that's not to say that they're all in on this lawsuit in lieu of updating the game.
Yeah.
But I think being out here with this lawsuit stuff, it really does seem like crazy desperation move sort of thing.
Yep. Yeah.
I feel like this makes me want to play the game less because this has a feeling of just like, oh, well, you guys got nothing. Yeah. This is what you're up to instead of just like working on the game and continually making it better, which, obviously they're doing that. They did their modes and all the other stuff. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I am no lawyer again, but it's really hard for me to envision this happening at all based on how a lot of other lawsuits around game feel and all this other stuff, even in cases that were like way more dead to rights than this.
Trying to think of
Dead to Rights, but I feel like that fighter's history case. And,
yeah,
and,
I guess, sure.
There were cases of like I'm trying to think if there were ever Pac-Man lawsuits, because I think that might be where a lot of the precedent was established around what you can copyright, what you can trademark when it comes to design and game feel and all that other stuff. Like by and large, the way was paved for clones of Pac-Man to exist.
What is a prominent Pac-Man clone?
I would say Ladybug. Like there were, there were plenty of ROM hacks and stuff like that existed that were just straight up bootlegs of Pac-Man.
Sure.
But Crush Roller, which is a game that SNK did, it was a similar maze game. Slightly different mechanics, but much like as Space Invaders led to Galaxian, led to a lot of other games of that ilk, like the genres of arcade gaming at the time, you had the maze game on the heels of a game like Pac-Man, where you had suddenly a ton of other stuff doing that, Amadar, like whatever else.
Side-scrolling beat-em-ups.
Yeah, right.
A lot of games of the same type.
Yeah. So I guess I don't have much more to say about it other than this whole thing seems ridiculous, and it seems desperate, and kind of makes me sad.
It does
as someone who has enjoyed a lot of Battlegrounds. Like I just look at this and go like, oh, come on.
Yeah. Sad is kind of the word that came to mind for me. We'll see if Korean courts move at the same pace as American ones, then maybe this whole battle royale craze will be over by the time we find out how this plays out.
They were making this noise back in like January or something, right?
Yeah.
So like, it took them forever to get to this point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. PUBG Corp has already dropped its suit against Epic Games.
Smart of it to get out of that. It was a dumb look for them.
Did they give reasoning?
No,
No,
that's not public.
Okay. They just dropped the suit.
Their lawyer was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you guys are stupid."
It's like, you realize this makes us look like clowns, right?
But so now this is like lose-lose though, because they looked like clowns and then got nothing out of it.
It's behind them at least.
Well,
like, it's not this ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to go to court over it.
Yeah.
It's they can move forward.
Sure.